Hello, and welcome to another YouTube video. I thought it would be kind of fun to talk a little bit about how my family, specifically my parents, have responded to my career and the furry fandom as a whole, as I'm aware that it's something that some people might be curious about. And yes, contrary to popular belief, I do in fact have a mother and father, shocker to some people I know. I never really expected for my life to go in the direction it has, and I'm sure neither did my parents, but here we are. Just a little heads up, as of recording this video, I have just returned from my trip to a convention in Sweden called NFC or Nordic FuzzCon, and unfortunately my streak of con crudless conventions is over, and I am a bit sick, so if I do sound weird, I deeply apologize. Before we get too deep into the video, I must shamelessly plug my new plush coming out courtesy of YouTooz. This adorable plush of my character sits at around 9 inches tall and features Pocky in her iconic green hoodie that is very well detailed, might I add. This plush is available right now for pre-orders. This is a limited time campaign, so don't miss out on this unique opportunity to order yours before it's gone for good. I'll leave a link in the description and in the pinned comments below. I have been in the furry fandom since around 2016 or 17. I came across the furry fandom entirely by accident when I was searching for a cosplay group, but stumbled upon a furry group instead. I was so impressed by the fursuits and the creativity. The community really appealed to my imaginative little brain, and I quickly started looking into creating my very own fursuit. I didn't have a persona, so I took inspiration from my cat called Jinx, who still lives with my parents by the way, and kind of just started making a fursuit head using tutorials by the wonderful Kloofsuits. It never really occurred to me to tell my parents much about what I was up to. I was just having fun and discovering a new hobby. Against my parents' wishes, I had recently gotten myself a job instead of going to college, as I really just wasn't sure what I would even want out of it. It put me in a rather awkward position with my parents, as they made it clear that they were unhappy with my decision and hadn't really thought it through much myself. I just knew that college wasn't something for me. When I discovered the furry fandom, I fell in love with the fursuits. Every video I saw of Telephone and Picari just deeper cemented my interest in creating my own suit. So with the lack of a persona at the time, I took inspiration from my cat Jinx, which is where I ended up taking inspiration from for my name and brand also. With the money that I earned through working in retail, I bought the materials that I required to make my very first fursuit. As my mum used to be a seamstress, she took interest in my sudden new hobby, asking about what I was making and giving me some advice on sewing. After a short while, I completed my very first fursuit head. It wasn't great, but it was my first try, and as a 17-year-old, I was very proud of it. My parents were so incredibly impressed by my creation and relieved that despite not pursuing a college degree in art, I was still very much being my creative self. My mum and dad were so infatuated with the suit that they even encouraged me to go grocery shopping with them whilst wearing the suit head. While my parents were quite skeptical about my choices, ultimately I was able to live comfortably working retail and continue my passion for art on the side. Until sometime later, when I ended up accepting my very first commission. I was approached after creating one of the very first artworks of Pocky to create a commission in a similar style and pose. Initially, I turned them down, not wanting to turn my art into work. However, when I checked my bank account, I realized that I was kind of broke and decided to hit them up and accept the commission. Sometime later, I ended up quitting my job in retail and pursued my full-time art career. It was quite slow in the beginning, and my parents often couldn't wrap their heads around how I was making money if I was home every day. My mum and dad would accuse me of just playing games, and for a long time I couldn't get through to them how I was working despite being home all day. That was until I simply turned to them and explained, "Dear parents, if I am just playing games as you say I am, surely I do not have the money to pay you rent." And they quickly changed their tone after that. Fast forward to now, my parents are incredibly supportive of what I do for a living. My mum and dad both fell in love with the fursuits, and whenever I go to cons, I make sure to send them many photos. They even hope to one day attend a convention themselves, and my mum has also said that she does wish she was younger and able to be more involved with the community, despite me telling her that it isn't uncommon for people her age to attend these conventions. My mum even hopes to get into making fursuit parts, like tails and accessories, as she does have some experience with sewing, as I mentioned. In fact, myself and my twin, Mute, who is also a furry artist, created a sona for my mum, which is a fox-owl hybrid. So yeah, that's about all I can think of to talk about regarding how my parents have responded to my choices in life and the furry fandom as a whole. As you can tell, they are very, very supportive, and I am so grateful to have them. And you can bet your ass they'll be pre-ordering their very own YouTube's Poke plush, just like you should also be doing right now. Go! Once again, I will be leaving a link in the description and in the comments below. I also just want to, of course, once again thank my wonderful Patreons who really do support me and allow me to continue doing what I love for a living. Before I end the video, I just want to give a really big shout out to my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. These wonderful beings really do support me and allow me to continue doing what I love for a living. They gave me a lot of great ideas and feedback about projects that I'll be working on, and it's just such a wonderful little community of people who just genuinely enjoy what I do and want to help me keep doing it. So if you do really enjoy what I'm doing, you should really consider checking out that Patreon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye!